What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am glad you're here. Okay, I have a little bit of a unique video today. A lot of you guys have mentioned it and seen it, and it's just kind of been a pattern in my videos of my very aggressively into out swing path. And so that is what this video is going to be about. Just me going down to Stripe Show. Me and Jake spent about 4.5 hours in the lab doing drills and really just trying to break down what is causing me to swing the club so far into out. This is something I've struggled with my whole golf career. The way that I swing the club right now is just, it limits me on the type of golf shots that I can hit. I'm very one-sided, I guess you could say. It's been extremely frustrating, and I've spent so much time practicing and trying to figure out exactly what it is that causes me to swing the club so far into out. I'm just in a process, and today you guys are going to see part of that process. So this video, there's going to be very little talking. I actually really didn't talk to the camera at all. You're just going to see me and Jake kind of talking back and forth, and me hitting a lot of golf shots and getting very frustrated and hitting some really bad golf shots as well. So hopefully maybe you guys will learn something from it as well. Maybe some of you are struggling with some of the same things that I'm struggling with. Me and Jake made a lot of progress today. I don't know, my goal, as you guys know, is just to keep getting better at golf, and so that's what I'm doing here today. So let's jump right into this video and see if we can't make some more progress.
Alright, man, the key to this move is really opening up your stance a little bit and being a little more narrow and getting it kind of middle stance to learn it. Stand up a little taller and a little closer to the ball and swipe that club out towards me and really hold that face off. This is not the tip 2. This is a new shot. This is like Bubba Watson stuff. It's gonna come out low as crap. Dude, that's it. Here's the biggest key for you is how your weight transfers for certain shot shapes. So this shot is punch shots under trees that are like navigating out of jail. It's almost like flip your hands out like this and intentionally never get your weight back to your back foot. So it's see how I really held my hands through that to create that angle. That's the angle that it launched. So when you can hit that shot like on repeat, then you're going to go, okay, now I know what that feels like to hold that face off. And then you can do it with all different types of clubs. And it gives you some new stuff that you haven't messed with before. You did it.
Is that a
You did it. Watch how much this thing cuts.
Nice.
Now, do it again. Give me like 3 in a row where you can put up stats that are to the left with an open face, and then I'm going to show you how to do it where you can actually hit a full shot like that. Right. There it is. All right, so that's a push cut.
Right.
It's better. Your path is good, and your face has, when you can leave the face open, that's showing you that you have more control over your club face. So now what you have to do is with your normal swing is you still get back, you still take the club the same way, you still stand open with a normal stance, and when your weight gets back, you still have to hold that club off and really swing across. That's truly the only difference. So like if I were going to hit a big banana and I wanted to on purpose, I can still get my weight back behind the ball, but it's still executing that exact technique where you're holding your hands off, basically making the face stay open and swinging across your body.
For a cut.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Flip that club out towards me. So the move is literally like when you're here, it's literally just holding.
Don't do that.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you see my hands, like how my left hand is literally held off? That's holding that club face off, and you're rotating the club through with your rotation of your body versus your arms. Yeah. Much better control of the face, dude. Look how much better your path is.
Yeah, that ball's going dead straight, basically.
It's 100% dead straight. The issue with your path is the takeaway was just inside too much. So you're gonna have to be very aware of that because that's a tendency that you have. So the takeaway, like you have to force yourself out. Now the impact move is gonna be rotating that club face through with body rotation versus hand rotation. Because you're gonna be a lot more accurate when you do that. Like 0.9 to the left is nothing. Like that's a baby little fall to the left. Can't hit driver until you get good control of your 7-iron face. I'm just trying, now all we're working on is your hands at impact, hold off. Left, back of your left hand is like literally backhanding the golf ball. And what you're doing is you're turning the face square with rotation versus hands. Face makes the ball curve, path makes the ball launch in the direction that it's pointed. So if your face is squared in your 10-degree path, it feels like you're hitting big blocks, but you're not. The face is dead square to the path you're swinging on. You're hitting it dead straight, but that's just where the path is going. With that big 10-degree path that you had when you walked in, you have to have like 4 or 5 degrees close. So you're really used to, it's called releasing the club at impact. So there's an old school way to release the club where you release it really hard with your right-handed impact, and that's what your tendency is. So instead of releasing the club at all with your hands, I'm just trying to get you to rotate through. Look how much face control I have right here, all with rotation. Now watch this. How much face, the club, ultimately you want to deliver the club through the hitting zone, square for as long as you can. That's how Bryson hits the ball so consistently well, even at the speed he is, because he's on that one plane. He doesn't release the club at all with his hands. He releases the club with his turn. So we definitely want the face to be less than the path. So that's, I didn't want to get you in here and fix your path and not have a serious conversation about the face, because now you're going to be hitting big hooks if your path is narrow. Then you'll have to go back to that wide path. We don't want that. We want to be able to control path and face, because that's ultimately what's going to make you go next level.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can't flip it.
So is that my hands taking over?
That was, you couldn't flip it. So you see how you just had that face wide open? You're not used to turning the golf club into the ball with your body rotation. It's more hand rotation. So your tempo is great. You're just going to have to learn how to deliver the club with big muscles versus arms.
Right.
Sling that thing out to me. For that cut shot you want to hit, I want to feel this. Because ultimately you're leaning back to the ball like this, holding it off. So sling it out to me. You're still hitting it 200 yards, dude. I mean, you're swinging super smooth and easy at it, but holy cow.
That's probably the best shot.
Holy cow. And that's a 190-yard shot, dude. It's not,
I feel like I'm chipping that.
I know you are, but look how much more face control you have. Hands at impact are going to be forward pressed on purpose. So the way you control the face is knowing where the toe is. So the toe is controlled by the right hand, right? So if you hold that right hand, you can hold that toe open to hit a cut. That's it right there. Oh, that's it right there. So these shots are not only teaching you how to hit a cut, this is teaching you how to not go full bore on every shot.
Still playing that ball middle of my stance, or a little bit more forward?
That's good right there. Swipe across that puppy. Leave that face open.
That feels hard.
Hard to do with a driver?
Yeah.
You just did it.
I know.
You can still attack up on it, Micah. You see your angle of attack was negative. Now you're like, all you're doing is you're leaving your hands behind your hips. So the way you do that is you're leaving the club head behind your hands and your hips. So you hear people say they were late. That's an open face. I was late.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Did I just see that right?
What?
Are you kidding me right now? That's
real?
what I'm saying. Look, Michael Morris just hit a slice.
I hit a 4.2 to the left.
Now, one more of those, and I'm going to gradually start working your left foot back to square with that same kind of out, really feeling out at it. There it is, dude. You got full control of your driver face right now. So now I want you to bring your stance back to square, and I want you to just neutralize the path as much as you can, swinging down the line, that's down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And then just not flipping the hands. Dude.
That's unreal.
So just think to yourself when you're practicing on the range, for every draw you hit, you owe yourself a fade.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's awesome. That feels so good.
It's just a little push draw.
Yeah. But just to be able to feel that is.
I think you have more control of the club face overall when you're just taking the club like what you feel like is way outside, but it's really not. It's
Right.
just taking the club pretty much straight back, because when you go on the inside path, you're really just pushing it out, and that's the danger zone. Like you'll close the face when you want to hit a draw.
Yeah.
It's harder for you to hold the face off than it is to close the face. Practicing, however you practice, choose your target, and then hit however many shots with your driver, like low draw, high draw, and then do the same with cuts. Like you owe it to yourself to be able to work the ball.
Yeah.
And then once you can work it on command, you've got something new in your bag that you didn't have. And it's not just the sling hook or the little push.
Right.
And being able to work a fade, like you said with wedges, man, that concept of hitting little fades, I mean, all the tour players are hitting fades with their wedges. They're just, it's falling, it's just dripping right.
Right. Guys, I just hit a fade with every club in my bag, which is something that I couldn't do for a long time. And I know it's going to take some work to be able to groove this, but I feel like I got a really good start. And honestly, shout out to Jake. I hit him up and I said, hey, I need some help. And obviously he's just right there. So Stripe Show, everything will be linked in the description if you're in the area. If you're not in the area, check him out, okay? Follow the Instagram. He's always he's posting a lot of questions recently and answering a lot of questions from you guys. So
check out my new hats online. They're for sale on my website, Stripe Show, www.sscf.com. Thanks.
Yes, and that will be linked in the description as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different, but I love you guys. Peace.